Welcome to 60 Skills. And the topic of today's discussion is why no one cares about your spiritual experiences. Number one, the main reason why people just don't care about your spiritual experiences is the same reason why they don't care about your first sexual experiences. It's private. They'd really just rather not hear about it. Everyone's seen when this happens. You start talking about that time you finally got light in your head, and the eyes glaze over. Just like your crazy uncle's war stories, people just really don't want to know. The simple fact of the matter is, in too many cases, they just consider this to be a private thing and not really something to be spoken about. Now, that doesn't change the fact that this experience was incredibly valuable and important to you, but the simple fact of the matter is, they'd rather not know. Number two, it's just too far outside the box regarding what reality looks like. You see, there's this thing called cognitive dissonance. When cognitive dissonance kicks in is normally when something happens that violates another person's belief system so severely that they can't even see it happen. A lot of times they'll start screaming and yelling and generally acting like a crazy person. And then 30 minutes or an hour later, they generally won't remember what happened. Now, when it comes to esoterica, this is very important. Because while we can't break the laws of physics, we can sure as hell bend the crap out of them. And the simple fact of the matter is, a lot of these things make people very uncomfortable. One of my favorite examples of this is your average artist, comedian, performer, athlete can talk about the energy in the crowd. And the second someone says, yeah, you know, you're right, and here's an active way to work with it, you are off to the land of glazed over eyes and people getting strangely angry for no reason they can remember. So the simple fact of the matter is, the experiences you may have had simply violate the other person's belief system so severely, they can't even see it. Now, reason number three why no one cares about your spiritual experiences. Well, you may just be in luck in that you might be dealing with somebody who has a case of the religious crazies. And before people go pointing fingers at all the Christians out there, keep in mind the Buddhist Anti-Magic League is in full effect in most parts of the world. The simple fact of the matter is, a lot of people have rules in their lives, for good reason, that protect them from these things. And much like the issue of cognitive dissonance, bringing up stuff about talking to spirits, having conversations in your head, or other type things, or working with energies that you can't see but you can certainly feel, starts bringing up the whole "the devil made me do it" deal. And again, this isn't unique to any one religion. A lot of religions have really serious issues with various esoteric practices, and they have them for good reasons. You need to keep in mind that back in the day, if somebody went crazy, usually they just died. Families would take care of them for a little bit, depending upon how severe it was. But psychiatry, psychoactive drugs, the ability to take off long periods from subsistence farming, none of these were real options. So the authorities, for a bunch of reasons, but not the least of which is not having the resource to care for these people, discouraging people from engaging in these activities, not the worst idea in the world. Not that that's of any consolation to you if you're actually into practicing any of this stuff. So those are the top three reasons why people don't want to hear about your spiritual experiences, but there is a fourth and perhaps the most important reason why they don't really want to hear about your spiritual experiences. The simple fact of the matter is, they don't care. And they don't care for good reason. This reason being, they're busy. They've got real lives. They run businesses, they have professions, they take care of family members, they raise their children, they pay their taxes. Most people are incredibly busy from the perspective of what they do, which is a simple way of stating that most people have really fulfilling full lives that keep them busy all day long and put them to bed tired at night and result in their waking up tired in the morning. They don't really have time to go thinking about someone else's experience. Again, this doesn't make the experience any less important to you. It just means it's not important to them. Now, all of these reasons are reasons why a lot of esoteric orders really look at things like silence as a virtue in terms of esoterica. The simple fact of the matter is, the more you keep this stuff to yourself, the less subject to abuse in the community you're subject to. People making fun of you, people not taking you seriously, people completely blowing you off. And keep in mind, if you have a profession in the normal world, other people knowing that you're really into this stuff can really hurt you there as well, because now at a minimum you're known as the weirdo who's into all that occult stuff. So if you're not in a position to teach or to be a public figure with this stuff, that's the reason why I've generally found most serious practitioners of esoterica writ large, you'd never know. Their practices certainly benefit what they do in the day-to-day world, but there's no real benefit for them to talk about these things in the day-to-day world. So, if you like the topic of today's lecture, please hit the subscribe button and give us a like down below. And if you would like to learn more about the 60 Skills curriculum, check the links down below in the details section of the video. Otherwise, have a good day and be well.